Downsizing is directed by Alexander Payne and stars Matt Damon, Kristen Wiig, Jason Sudeikis, Christoph Waltz, and Udo Kier. And this is the story of a setting that takes place in the near future, where these scientists come up with an idea of basically making a new community, so to speak, for people to basically have a way to shrink themselves in order to live a leisure lifestyle of something that pretty much in the real world have always dreamed about and have always wanted to take vacations out of, and live basically what's called basically a utopia, so to speak. And the film deals with Matt Damon and Kristen Wiig as a couple who decide to try to go to this experiment as a way out in life. And as after some stuff happens to where Matt Damon's character gets left behind by Kristen Wiig's character, like you see in the trailer, the rest of the film deals with him having to adjust to this new world that he's pretty much gets himself into after he gets himself shrunk and goes to live there. And along the way, he comes across some other characters, including Christoph Waltz's character, who's kind of like this partier goer kind of guy who likes to, do like all these fun '70s psychedelic kind of parties and stuff. And he also tries to find a way out in life. And basically Matt Damon's character tries to fit in with after going through some rough times. And to be honest, I actually was kind of looking forward to this movie because based on the trailers of what I've seen alone, I felt like this movie was going to be like one of those quirky kind of comedies. And it was directed by the guy, Alexander Payne, who I'm not really too familiar with. I've heard of some of his movies, but I've never fully watched them. Like, I saw bits and pieces of About Schmidt. I've never seen The Descendants, and I haven't seen Nebraska. But I hear that a lot of those films are really good, so I haven't gotten a chance to watch them. But from the trailers, it mainly got me into the whole concept, because just the idea of them of creating this world where you're basically shrunken down and you're having to live inside this kind of leisure place and everything, where you can pretty much do whatever you want, and the cost of living is so like tremendous. The cost of living just seems so like cheap, like everyone's dream basically, because how it works is you have people that are the people that pretty much decide to go here are the ones that are kind of the lower class or lower to middle class kind of people that don't have like the financial stability to go live in the type of society other people, like some of the richer people, have. And so when they go inside this world, so to speak, it allows them to basically live that style. And I really do enjoy this concept because you can do so much with the ideas of it and build a lot with this world that they've established. And I gotta tell you that, I gotta be honest, I was kind of disappointed with this movie. Now, it's by no means a horrible film, but I just didn't really care for it too much. But here's my pros I have for it. I really like Matt Damon in this. I think that he is playing a character that I actually kind of relate to a lot, because he's just an all-around good guy. He's trying to provide for his wife, and he tries to come up with a way to basically escape into something that he's always wanted to do in life. And he also gets a job working at a call center, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually work at a call center myself. So there's a lot of things with his character that he goes through that I actually can relate to a lot, and I really enjoy Matt Damon's performance in this, and I think that he does crack some great funny lines here and there throughout, because the movie is more of a drama slash science fiction type film than it is really a comedy, because the trailers I think were a bit misleading for this. I think in a way it was meant to be more of a commentary, so to speak, of the way that it's basically a commentary on the lower class, well, both the low class and high class society, so to speak. Now, I'm not really big into politics so much, so I'll try to leave that out, but I pretty much get what they're going for, because I actually do like the way that the film was going at first, and because the way that they build this world, so to speak, it is very reminiscent to how it is in real life, where basically if you were to go into this type of community, you wouldn't want to, it would change your life forever. And that's what the film deals a lot with. When you go into becoming rich and everything, it's like you feel so happy for a while, but then it seems like the film was kind of going in a direction that living in this doesn't always bring happiness for a lot, because it has so many, like for Matt Damon's character, it doesn't bring him a lot of happiness, so to speak, because of all the because knowing that he'll pretty much be there for the rest of his life, he has to decide what to do with himself. And so I like the way that the film goes with that for like the first half of it. And I'll even enjoy Christoph Waltz's performance too. I highly enjoyed the way that he's this very laid back kind of hippie kind of guy, or not hippie, this kind of really, laid back kind of 70s psychedelic, type of guy who just likes to party and just is very, just very hip. It's just I find him really hilarious in this a lot. Along with Udo Kier, I thought he was great in this as well. I also like the way that the cinematography and the way the design of the world is built up too, with how you see all the little stores and stuff that they go to, the way that the cars are made and everything. Because there's actually, in some of the quirky moments, like, so to speak, like you see in the trailer, where you have like Matt Damon and Christian Wake's characters on the bus, and then right next to him is like this little glass box that has the little tiny people inside. It's such a delight the way that they, the way the design they built, the way that the visuals look with this as well, with how they created the small world and stuff. And I also really enjoyed some of the satirical stuff they have in here too, like with there's a part that involves Neil Patrick Harris and all that, and I'm not going to go into detail, but it was really funny to see him in this part that kind of reminds me of watching like a reality show type of thing, and it's him as a tiny guy, and while a live audience are watching and stuff. So I really enjoyed that. I actually thought that part was pretty good, or pretty funny. And some other pros, I will say that I did laugh here and there, mainly in the first act, because I do feel like the first act really does start out very likable for me, and I really got into a lot of the stuff, how they were building this world, so to speak. Especially how they pretty much have the little tiny food and that they bring in, and there's actually even one part where they bring in a giant cracker at one point, and it just, I really like the way that this movie knows how to pretty much build. The movie combines both like some of the bigger things and the little things in this world. But beyond that, though, I mean, I do like the ideas this film has, but I really felt like it was boggled down because, to be honest, as the film went along, I kind of didn't really get into a lot of the second and third act, because it seems like the direction they were going was kind of more depressing than it was, trying to really be upbeat like I was expecting, so to speak. And maybe that's probably because of the trailer I watched, because I really felt like they didn't really know how to market this film together, so maybe I'm probably just not getting it, so to speak, with this type of movie. Because as it goes along, it starts to dive into basically a direction that I kind of felt was very dragged out a lot, and I really didn't care for it. That's where I pretty much get in my cons. I felt like this film was boggled down by the ideas that just didn't flow well with me, because they go into this direction that I think that, while I appreciate what they're doing as far as the commentary, I didn't really feel much of it, because I just didn't really get into what was happening, so to speak. Because the way that the direction is going, it almost feels very depressing. In fact, and then towards the end, it almost seems like the entire third act felt really pointless, so to speak, because in a way, like a lot of the last like 20 to 30 minutes, it almost feels like it shouldn't even happen in the first place, when these characters are doing something toward the end of the movie. So it almost seemed like the film was trying to do something, it was trying to speak its whole, message about something going on. But in the end, because it didn't really feel like there was any resolvement, so to speak, it almost felt like that entire thing was entirely pointless. So I really don't get what they were going for in this. Maybe I'm missing some. Maybe this is one of those films that I have to look very more deep into, so to speak. But I can be honest, like I didn't really care for it, to be honest. But it's not a bad movie. I really think that this kind of idea can work with other movies if they try to do it well. But here, I just felt like it was a very wasted opportunity that they could have done much better with. There might be some funny parts here and there that I enjoyed, but overall, I felt like it was just a wasted opportunity that could have been so much better used with this type of material. I really felt like, it was missing a lot more, and some of the humor that they do add into later in the film just kind of dragged out for me, and some of the humor just felt really forced and just kind of just not really funny for me, especially when they bring a character that while I do get why the character was brought in, and I do I do appreciate the performance of the person, I just felt like there was something. I just felt like when this character was on screen a lot of the time, well, at least when I first see this character for a while, I felt very annoyed. So with that, I'm going to give the film a 5.5 out of 10. For those of you who have also seen Downsizing, let me know in the comments below of what you thought about it. And if you like what you see here, you can feel free to like and subscribe to my channel and check out some of my other reviews here on YouTube. And also on my channel, my website at filmfreaks.com. And I'll be seeing you in my next review. I'll see you later.